Lily thought the hotel janitor was just a poor night worker. Please rate this story from 1 to 10. Tell us where you are watching from and share if you have a similar experience. Subscribe for new stories every day. Let's begin. The Grand Monarch Hotel stood like a crown jewel in the heart of the city. Its marble floors gleamed under crystal chandeliers. Wealthy guests moved through its halls with practiced elegance. Lily Martinez wiped down table 7 for the third time that evening. Her white shirt was pressed crisp, despite the long shift. She had worked at the Monarch's restaurant for 2 years now. The pay was decent, but the customers were demanding. She smiled as she arranged the silverware in perfect rows.
Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Monarch restaurant. May I show you to your table?
The man in the designer suit barely glanced at her. Victor Chen was a regular at the hotel. He owned several tech companies across the city. His watch probably cost more than Lily's annual salary. He always requested table 12 by the window.
Your usual table is ready. Would you like to see the wine list?
Victor finally looked up from his phone. His eyes scanned her face with unsettling interest. Lily had seen that look before. Wealthy men often mistook service for availability. Victor told her he would rather look at her than any wine list. Lily's smile remained professional, but her jaw tightened. She had learned to deflect these comments gracefully. Richard, the restaurant manager, watched from across the room. His arms were crossed, and his expression was stern. Lily brought Victor his usual scotch and water. She placed the glass down with practiced precision. Victor caught her wrist before she could step away. His grip was firm but not painful. He said he wanted to take her to dinner after her shift. He mentioned his new yacht and his villa in the mountains. He promised her a life she could only dream about. Lily gently pulled her hand free.
I appreciate the offer, sir. But I must decline. Is there anything else I can bring you?
Victor's friendly expression hardened for just a moment. Then he laughed as if she had told a joke. He said she would change her mind eventually. All the girls did. Lily walked away with her tray held high. Her hands were steady, but her heart was racing. She passed the service station where Charlotte was refilling water pitchers. Charlotte had worked at the Monarch for 5 years. She knew every trick to maximize tips. Her blonde hair was always perfect, and her makeup never smudged. Charlotte whispered that Lily was crazy to refuse Victor. She said he could set her up for life. Lily just smiled and said she was not interested. Charlotte rolled her eyes and muttered something about stupidity. Lily did not respond. The evening rush continued with waves of demanding customers. Lily moved between tables with efficient grace. She had memorized every item on the menu. She knew which wines paired with which dishes. She could read a customer's mood within seconds of greeting them. Around 9:30, the dinner crowd began to thin. Lily was clearing table 4 when she heard the soft sound of a mop bucket. Marcus Robinson pushed his cleaning cart down the hallway. His navy blue janitor uniform was simple and worn. His gray hair was cut short and neat. Marcus worked the night shift, cleaning the hotel's public spaces. He had kind eyes that crinkled when he smiled. Lily had noticed him 6 months ago, when her shift ran late. They had started exchanging greetings in passing.
Good evening, Marcus. How are you tonight?
Marcus looked up, and his whole face brightened. He set down his mop and leaned on the handle.
I am well, Lily. Thank you for asking. Looks like you had a busy night.
We did. But I'm almost done. Just a few more tables to clean.
Marcus nodded toward the dining room. He asked if the customers were treating her well tonight. There was genuine concern in his voice. Lily appreciated that he always asked.
Mostly. There is always one who thinks money buys everything. But I can handle it.
You handle everything with grace. I have noticed that about you. You never let them see when they get under your skin.
Lily felt warmth spread through her chest. Marcus's compliments were never empty flattery. He noticed real things about her character. Not just her appearance or her service skills.
That means a lot coming from you. You always know how to make me smile.
Marcus smiled back and picked up his mop. He said he had better get back to work before Richard noticed. Richard was strict about employees fraternizing. Marcus gave her a small wave and pushed his cart toward the lobby. Lily watched him go for a moment longer than necessary. There was something comforting about Marcus. He never asked for anything. He never made her feel uncomfortable. He simply treated her like a person worth knowing. The next evening started much like the one before. Lily arrived at 5:30 for her shift. She tied her apron and checked her appearance in the staff mirror. Charlotte breezed past her without a word. There was tension between them now. Richard gathered the waitstaff for a brief meeting before service. His thin face was pinched with disapproval, as always. He announced that Victor Chen had requested Lily specifically for his table. Richard's eyes narrowed as he looked at her. Richard told her she should be grateful for regular customers, especially ones as wealthy as Victor. He said she needed to be more accommodating. His tone made it clear this was not a suggestion.
I am always professional with every guest.
Richard stepped closer and lowered his voice. He said professionalism meant making the guests happy, especially the ones who spent thousands per visit. He implied that her job security depended on keeping Victor satisfied.
I understand. I will provide excellent service as always.
Richard's expression suggested he doubted this cry, but he dismissed them all to prepare for the evening. Lily felt Charlotte's eyes on her back as they dispersed. Jealousy had a particular quality that was hard to miss. Victor arrived promptly at 7. He was wearing a different designer suit tonight. This one was probably even more expensive. He walked directly to Lily and ignored the hostess station. Victor said he specifically asked for Lily to be his server. He wanted to continue their conversation from last night. Lily maintained her professional smile. She led him to table 12.
May I start you with a cocktail this evening?
Victor ordered champagne and insisted she bring 2 glasses. He said it would be rude to let him drink alone. Lily explained that staff were not permitted to drink on duty. Victor waved this away as a silly rule.
I appreciate the gesture, but I must follow hotel policy. Would you like to order an appetizer?
Victor leaned back in his chair. He studied her with calculating eyes. Then he suggested she quit this job and work for him instead. He said he could use someone with her people skills. He mentioned a salary that made her current wages look like pocket change.
I am happy with my current position. May I recommend the lobster bisque tonight?
Victor's smile turned cold. He told her she was making a mistake. Opportunities like this did not come twice. Lily took his order without responding to the implied threat. Throughout the meal, Victor made increasingly personal comments. He asked about her family and her living situation. He wanted to know if she had a boyfriend. Lily deflected each question with professional courtesy. When she brought his dessert, Victor grabbed her hand again. This time his grip was tighter. He said he was not used to being rejected. He suggested she reconsider before he lost patience.
Sir, I need my hand back. I have other tables to serve.
Victor held on for 3 more seconds. His eyes were hard as diamonds. Then, he released her with a laugh that did not reach his eyes. He said she was playing hard to get. He found it amusing for now. Lily walked to the service station on shaking legs. She took several deep breaths to steady herself. Charlotte was there loading dessert plates. Charlotte said Lily was stupid to antagonize Victor. She pointed out that he could make her life very difficult. Lily asked why Charlotte cared so much. Charlotte's face flushed red. Charlotte admitted she had been hoping Victor would notice her instead. She had worn her best dress and done her makeup perfectly, but he only had eyes for Lily. It was not fair.
He can have you? I do not want his attention.
Charlotte's expression turned spiteful. She said Lily would regret this. Girls who did not play along never lasted long at the Monarch. Richard made sure of that. The shift finally ended at 11. Lily changed out of her work clothes in the staff locker room. Her feet ached, and her head was pounding. She just wanted to go home. The hotel was quiet as she walked toward the employee exit. Most of the guests had retired to their rooms. The only sound was the gentle hum of the air conditioning. Then she heard the familiar squeak of a mop bucket. Marcus was cleaning the marble floor in the main hallway. He moved the mop in smooth, efficient strokes. He looked up when he heard her footsteps.
Heading home.
Finally. It was a long night.
Marcus set down his mop and walked over to her. Concern was written across his weathered face. He asked if everything was okay. Lily felt tears prick her eyes unexpectedly.
Just tired. Some customers are more demanding than others.
That fellow in the expensive suit. He was bothering you again.
Lily was surprised Marcus had noticed. He worked in different areas of the hotel. But apparently, he paid more attention than she realized.
He does not understand the word no. I will handle it.
You should not have to handle it alone. If he crosses a line, you need to report him.
To who? Richard thinks I should be grateful for his attention.
Marcus's jaw tightened. Anger flashed in his usually gentle eyes. He said Richard was wrong, and she deserved better.
You are worth more than all of them combined. Do not let them make you forget that.
Lily felt warmth spread through her chest again. Marcus always knew exactly what to say. He never tried to fix her problems. He simply reminded her of her own strength.
Thank you, Marcus. That really helps.
Anytime. Now get home and rest. Tomorrow will be better.
Lily walked toward the exit, feeling lighter. She glanced back once and saw Marcus watching her. He gave her a small wave. She waved back with a genuine smile. The next morning, Lily woke to her phone buzzing. It was a text from Charlotte. Victor had complained to Richard about Lily's service. Richard wanted to see her before her shift. Lily's stomach dropped. She knew this was coming. Victor was the type who did not accept rejection gracefully. She dressed carefully for work. Professionalism was her only armor. Richard's office was small and cramped. Papers were stacked on every surface. He sat behind his desk with his hands folded. His expression was even more severe than usual. Richard, said Victor, had filed a formal complaint. He claimed Lily was rude and inattentive. He said she ignored his requests and made him feel unwelcome. Richard looked at her with cold disapproval.
Those accusations are not true. I provided professional service throughout his meal.
Richard said Victor was a valued guest who spent considerable money at the hotel. His word carried more weight than a waitress's defense. Lily felt anger rise in her throat.
So you are taking his side without even hearing mine.
Richard stood and walked around his desk. He said she needed to learn her place. The Monarch Hotel catered to wealthy clientele. Staff who could not accommodate them did not last long. Richard told her she was suspended for 3 days without pay. This would give her time to reflect on her attitude. If there was another complaint, she would be terminated. Lily's hands clenched into fists at her sides.
This is completely unfair. I did nothing wrong.
Richard said life was not fair. She needed to accept reality. Wealthy guests had different rules. She could either adapt or find work elsewhere. Lily left his office with tears burning in her eyes. She refused to let them fall. Charlotte was waiting near the staff entrance. Her expression was smug. Charlotte said she tried to warn Lily. Rich men always got their way. Lily should have just smiled and accepted Victor's attention. Now she had thrown away a perfectly good job.
I would rather be jobless than compromise my dignity.
Charlotte laughed and said dignity did not pay rent. Lily walked past her without another word. She could not stay in this building another minute. She sat on a bench in the small park, across from the hotel. The morning sun was warm on her face. She had 3 days without pay. Her savings were thin. She could not afford many more setbacks. Footsteps approached, and she looked up. Marcus was walking toward her with 2 cups of coffee. He was still in his janitor uniform from the night shift.
I heard what happened. Richard is wrong.
Lily accepted the coffee gratefully. Marcus sat beside her on the bench. They were silent for a moment.
Maybe I should have just put up with Victor. 3 days without pay is going to hurt.
No. You did the right thing. Standing up for yourself is never wrong.
It does not feel right. It feels like I am being punished for having boundaries.
You are being punished by small-minded people. But that does not make your boundaries wrong. It makes them cowards.
Lily looked at Marcus with new appreciation. He always saw things so clearly. There was no confusion in his moral compass.
How did you end up so wise?
Life teaches hard lessons. I have learned to listen.
They sat together finishing their coffee. Marcus told her stories about his own struggles. He had faced discrimination and hardship throughout his career. But he never compromised his values. Lily felt her resolve strengthening. Marcus checked his watch and said he needed to get home. His shift had ended hours ago. But he had waited to make sure she was okay. Lily felt tears threaten again.
You did not have to do that.
Yes, I did. Friends look out for each other.
The word friend settled warmly in Lily's chest. She wanted to tell him she felt more than friendship. But the timing was wrong. She just thanked him and watched him walk away. The 3 days of suspension passed slowly. Lily tried to stay busy, but worry gnawed at her. She needed this job despite Richard's unfairness. Rent was due in 2 weeks. On the 4th day, she returned to work. Charlotte greeted her with false sympathy. Other staff members avoided eye contact. News of her suspension had spread. Richard pulled her aside before her shift. He said she was on probation. Any further complaints would result in immediate termination. She needed to be extra attentive to all guests, especially valued regulars like Victor.
I understand.
Richard's smile was thin and cold. He said he hoped she had learned her lesson. Lily nodded and went to prepare her station. Victor did not appear that evening. Lily worked her shift with quiet efficiency. She smiled at customers and delivered perfect service. But inside she felt hollow. Marcus appeared around 10, as usual. He was mopping near the restaurant entrance. Lily caught his eye, and he smiled. That small gesture lifted her spirits more than anything else could. The following week brought an uneasy routine. Lily worked her shifts and avoided Richard. Charlotte continued making snide comments. Victor still had not returned. Then on Friday evening, everything changed. George, the head chef, burst into the dining room. His face was red with fury. He was shouting about missing inventory. George said someone had been stealing from the kitchen. Expensive ingredients were disappearing. Thousands of dollars worth of truffles and caviar were gone. Richard was called immediately. Richard questioned the entire kitchen staff. Everyone denied knowledge of the theft. Then Charlotte spoke up. She said she had seen Lily near the kitchen storage room last week. Lily's blood ran cold. She had been near the storage room. She sometimes helped carry supplies. But she had never stolen anything.
I was helping carry vegetables. I did not go into the storage room.
Charlotte shook her head sadly. She said Lily had been acting desperate since her suspension. Maybe the financial pressure got to her. Richard's expression turned triumphant. Richard said this was grounds for immediate termination. He would call the police. Theft was a serious crime. Lily felt the room spinning.
I did not steal anything. You cannot do this.
Richard said the evidence was clear. Charlotte was a trusted employee of 5 years. Her word was reliable. Lily was on probation. She had motive and opportunity. Other staff members watched in silence. No one spoke up in Lily's defense. She realized they were all afraid of Richard. Speaking up could cost them their jobs too. Richard told Lily to empty her locker immediately. Security would escort her from the premises. She could expect a visit from the police. Lily felt tears finally spill down her cheeks. She walked to the staff area in a daze. Her hands shook as she opened her locker. Everything she had worked for was crumbling. Charlotte's smug expression replayed in her mind. As she gathered her belongings, she heard raised voices from the dining room. Someone was arguing with Richard. The voice was familiar, but somehow different. It carried authority she had never heard before. Lily walked back slowly. Marcus stood in the center of the restaurant, but he was not wearing his janitor uniform. He wore an expensive dark suit. His entire bearing had changed.
What exactly is happening here?
Richard stammered for the first time in Lily's memory. He explained about the stolen inventory. He mentioned Charlotte's testimony. He was about to call the police.
And you believe this without any investigation? Without checking security footage? Without even questioning Charlotte's motives?
Richard's face went pale. He asked Marcus why he was dressed like that. Marcus pulled a business card from his pocket. Richard's hands shook as he read it. Marcus told Richard his full name was Marcus Robinson. He was the owner of the Robinson Hotel Group. The Grand Monarch was one of his properties. He'd been working undercover as a janitor for 6 months. Silence fell over the entire room. Lily felt her legs go weak. Charlotte's face turned white as paper. George looked confused. Richard looked like he might faint.
I wanted to see how my hotels really operated. I wanted to meet the staff who make everything run. What I found was deeply disappointing.
Marcus walked over to Richard. His expression was cold and professional. He said Richard's management style was abusive. He prioritized wealthy guests over staff welfare. He created a toxic work environment.
But that is not the worst part. The worst part is you are about to fire an innocent woman based on accusations from someone who is clearly lying.
Richard tried to defend himself. He said Charlotte was a trusted employee. Marcus cut him off.
I had security review all footage from the past month. Charlotte was seen entering the storage room multiple times. She took items and hid them in her car. She planned to sell them online.
Charlotte tried to run, but security guards appeared at the door. They'd been waiting for Marcus's signal. Charlotte started crying and begging. She said she needed the money. Marcus told the guards to take Charlotte to his office. The police would deal with her properly. He turned his attention to Richard.
You are fired effective immediately. You have 1 hour to clear your desk. Security will escort you from the building.
Richard opened his mouth to protest. But Marcus's expression stopped him cold. Richard slunk away without another word. The other staff members stared in shock. Marcus finally turned to Lily. His expression softened completely. He looked like the gentle janitor she had known. But, with added layers, she was just beginning to see.
I'm sorry you had to go through that. I should have revealed myself sooner.
You are the owner. This whole time, you owned the hotel.
I own 42 hotels across the country, but I try to work in each one periodically. I learn more as a janitor than I ever could in a boardroom.
Lily did not know whether to laugh or cry. The kind man who brought her coffee was a billionaire. The person she had been falling for was her employer. Everything felt surreal.
Why did you not tell me?
I wanted you to know the real me. Not the wealthy businessman. Not the powerful hotel owner. Just Marcus.
Lily understood completely. She had chosen him over Victor for exactly that reason. He treated her like a person. He valued her character over her appearance.
You succeeded. I got to know the real you. And I really like the real you.
Marcus smiled with genuine warmth. He said he had fallen for her, watching her handle difficult customers with grace. He admired her principles, even when they cost her. He saw her real character every day.
I know this is complicated. I am technically your employer now. But I want you to know my feelings for you are genuine. They have nothing to do with business.
I believe you. The man I got to know would never manipulate anyone.
Marcus asked if she would consider joining him for dinner. Not as employee and employer, but as two people who wanted to know each other better. Lily felt her heart racing.
I would like that very much.
The other staff members began whispering among themselves. George approached cautiously. He asked Marcus about the management position. Marcus said he would promote Sophia from human resources. She had always treated staff fairly. Marcus told everyone that major changes were coming. Staff welfare would be the top priority. No guest, regardless of wealth, would be allowed to harass employees. Those who did would be banned from all Robinson properties. He announced that Lily was being promoted to assistant manager. She would help reshape the restaurant's policies. Her salary would triple immediately. The staff broke into surprised applause.
I do not know what to say.
Say yes. You have earned this position. You have the integrity and judgment I need in leadership.
Lily accepted with tears of happiness streaming down her face. Everything had changed in minutes. The job she thought she lost was now a career opportunity. The man she cared for was standing beside her. Over the next few weeks, the hotel transformed. Sophia became the new general manager. She implemented fair policies and staff protection measures. Several toxic employees were let go. Morale improved dramatically. Marcus divided his time between hotels. But he always made time for Lily. They had dinner several times a week. Their connection deepened with each conversation. Lily discovered that Marcus was nothing like the wealthy men she served. He lived simply despite his fortune. He donated most of his income to education programs. He believed in giving people opportunities. One evening, Marcus took Lily to a small family restaurant. It was nothing fancy. Just good food and warm atmosphere. They sat across from each other in a worn booth.
I wanted to bring you somewhere that reminded me of where I started. I grew up in a place like this. My mother was a waitress. My father cleaned office buildings.
You understand what it is like to serve. That is why you worked as a janitor.
Exactly. I never want to forget where I came from. Wealth does not change who you are inside. It just reveals your true character.
Lily reached across the table and took his hand. She said his character was the reason she fell for him. Not his hotels or his fortune. She had rejected wealthy men before, but she could never reject him.
I fell for you the first time I saw you handle a rude customer. You stayed gracious even when they did not deserve it. That is real strength.
Their relationship continued to grow naturally. Marcus never flaunted his wealth. Lily never changed her values. They built something genuine together. Victor tried to return to the hotel one more time. Security stopped him at the door. Marcus had personally banned him from all properties. Victor threatened lawsuits. Marcus had lawyers who made Victor's look small. Charlotte faced charges for theft. She pleaded guilty and received probation. George found the missing inventory in her storage unit. Justice was served. Richard tried to find work at other hotels. But word spread about his management style. No reputable establishment would hire him. He eventually left the city. 6 months later, the Grand Monarch had the highest staff satisfaction scores in the company. Turnover was the lowest it had been in years. Customer reviews praised the friendly professional service. Marcus's undercover mission had achieved its goal. Lily excelled in her new role as assistant manager. She implemented training programs for new staff. She created mentorship opportunities. She made sure everyone felt valued and protected. One evening, after the dinner rush, Lily and Marcus stood on the hotel's rooftop terrace. The city lights sparkled below them. Marcus wrapped his arms around her from behind.
Do you remember when we first talked? You were cleaning tables, and I was mopping floors.
I remember thinking you seemed kind. Wealth never crossed my mind.
That is why you are different. You saw me when I was nobody. Or when you thought I was nobody.
You were never nobody, Marcus. You were always somebody worth knowing.
Marcus turned her to face him. His eyes were serious and tender. He said he wanted to spend his life with someone who valued character over wealth. Someone who understood what really mattered.
I love you, Lily. Not despite who you are, but because of exactly who you are.
I love you too, Marcus. You showed me that the right person will value my principles, not ask me to compromise them.
They kissed as the city lights twinkled around them. Neither thought about the wealth or the hotels. They thought only about the connection they had built, the trust they had earned, the love that had grown from genuine respect. The next morning, Lily woke in her small apartment. Sunlight streamed through the thin curtains. She smiled, remembering last night on the terrace. Everything felt different now. Her phone buzzed with a text from Marcus. He asked if she wanted to visit one of his other hotels. He wanted to show her what they were building together. Lily agreed immediately. She had never traveled for pleasure before. They drove 2 hours north to the Silver Pine Resort. It sat nestled in the mountains, overlooking a pristine lake. The building was modern glass and stone. Marcus pulled into the staff parking lot.
I always use the employee entrance. It tells me more about a place than the front lobby.
They walked through the service corridors. Marcus pointed out details as they went. He showed her efficient supply storage systems. He explained staff break room amenities. His passion for his work was obvious. They emerged into the main kitchen. The head chef looked up from his prep work. His eyes went wide when he saw Marcus. Then he noticed Lily and his confusion deepened. Marcus introduced Lily as his assistant manager from the Grand Monarch. The chef Robert shook her hand enthusiastically. He said he had heard great things about the improvements there. Lily felt pride swell in her chest. Robert offered to make them lunch. Marcus accepted, and they sat at a small table in the corner. Robert prepared fresh pasta with seasonal vegetables. The food was excellent. Robert asked Lily about her management philosophy. She explained her focus on staff welfare and training. Robert nodded along and made several suggestions. Marcus watched her with obvious admiration.
You have a wonderful operation here, Robert. Your kitchen is spotless and your staff seems happy.
Robert beamed at the compliment. He said Marcus hired people who cared. That made all the difference. After lunch, Marcus showed Lily the guest areas. They walked through the elegant lobby. A young desk clerk was helping an elderly couple. She was patient and kind as they asked multiple questions. Marcus made a mental note to commend her later. In the hallway near the spa, Marcus stopped suddenly. He turned to Lily with a mischievous expression. She recognized that look.
What are you planning?
I want to show you something ridiculous. Come with me.
He led her to a utility closet. Inside were janitor supplies and cleaning equipment. Marcus pulled out a mop and bucket. Lily started laughing.
Are you serious right now?
Completely serious. I want to teach you the proper mopping technique. It is a crucial life skill.
Lily laughed harder as Marcus demonstrated elaborate mopping strokes. He narrated each movement like a sports commentator. His voice was solemn, but his eyes were twinkling.
You see, the key is wrist rotation. Too much pressure, and you are working too hard. Too little, and you are just spreading dirt around.
You are completely ridiculous. How did I fall for you?
My exceptional mopping skills, obviously.
Lily took the mop from him and tried to copy his technique. She nearly knocked over the bucket. Water sloshed across the floor. They both dissolved into laughter. A housekeeper walked past and stopped in confusion. She saw the owner of the hotel and a woman playing with cleaning supplies. Marcus waved cheerfully at her. She shook her head smiling and continued on. They spent the afternoon exploring the resort. Marcus introduced Lily to key staff members. Everyone was curious about her. Word spread quickly that the boss had brought someone special. Driving home that evening, Lily felt content. Marcus reached over and took her hand. The mountains passed by in purple twilight.
I want you to meet my family. They are having dinner this weekend. Will you come with me?
Lily's contentment evaporated instantly. Meeting family was a big step. It made everything real. Her palms started sweating.
Are you sure they want to meet me? I am just a waitress. Well, former waitress.
You are the woman I love. That is all that matters to them.
Lily agreed despite her nervousness. Marcus squeezed her hand reassuringly. She tried to push away her anxiety. The week passed quickly. Lily threw herself into work at the Grand Monarch. Sophia was implementing new policies smoothly. Staff morale continued improving. Everything was falling into place. Friday evening arrived too soon. Lily changed outfits 4 times. Nothing felt right. She finally settled on a simple navy dress. Marcus picked her up at 6. He wore khakis and a button-down shirt. He looked relaxed and handsome. Lily wished she felt half as calm.
You look beautiful. Stop worrying.
How did you know I was worrying?
You have been checking your reflection in every window we pass.
Lily laughed nervously. Marcus took her hand. His touch was steady and warm. His family home was a large colonial in an old money neighborhood. Lily's anxiety spiked as they pulled into the circular driveway. Several expensive cars were already parked. This was clearly a big family gathering. Marcus's mother, Eleanor, opened the door. She was elegant in pearls and a cream-colored dress. Her smile was polite, but her eyes were assessing. Lily felt examined and found wanting. Eleanor welcomed them inside. The house was filled with antiques and art. Everything spoke of generations of wealth. Lily had never felt more out of place. Marcus's father Gregory was in the study with Marcus's brother Julian. Gregory was tall with silver hair and commanding presence. Julian looked like a younger version of Marcus, but without the warmth. Eleanor called everyone to the dining room. There were 10 people, total including 2 aunts and an uncle. Lily was seated between Marcus and his cousin Patricia. Patricia immediately began asking questions. Patricia wanted to know where Lily went to college. Lily explained she had worked instead of attending university. Patricia's eyebrows rose in surprise. She exchanged glances with Julian across the table. Eleanor served an elaborate meal. There were multiple courses with different wines. Lily tried to remember which fork to use. She felt like she was being tested. Gregory asked about Lily's family background. She explained her parents had worked service jobs. Her father was a mechanic, and her mother cleaned houses. The table went quiet for a moment. Julian broke the silence. He asked how Lily and Marcus met. Marcus explained they had worked together. Julian's expression turned skeptical. Julian said it was interesting that Marcus dated an employee. He wondered if that created conflicts of interest. His tone was pleasant, but his meaning was clear. Lily felt her cheeks burn.
Lily earned her position through merit. Our relationship developed naturally. There is no conflict.
Eleanor changed the subject quickly. She asked about the Grand Monarch's recent improvements. Marcus explained the new policies. Lily added details about staff training programs. Patricia leaned over and whispered to Lily. She said Marcus usually dated women from their social circle. She wondered what made Lily different. Her smile did not reach her eyes. Dessert was served with coffee. Lily barely tasted the chocolate torte. She felt everyone's judgment pressing down on her. Marcus seemed oblivious to the tension. After dinner, Marcus excused them early. He could sense Lily's discomfort. They said polite goodbyes. Eleanor kissed Marcus's cheek, but barely nodded at Lily. In the car, Lily finally let her composure crack. Tears streamed down her face. Marcus pulled over immediately.
I am so sorry. I did not realize they would be like that.
They hate me. They think I'm not good enough for you.
They are wrong. You are better than all of them combined.
I do not fit in your world, Marcus. I do not know which fork to use. I did not go to the right schools. My parents were not wealthy.
I do not care about any of that. I fell in love with you, not some society woman who checks all the boxes.
Lily wanted to believe him, but doubt had planted itself firmly in her mind. Maybe everyone was right. Maybe this relationship was doomed. Over the next 2 weeks, Marcus tried to reassure her. He called multiple times a day. He sent flowers to her office. He took her to quiet restaurants where they could talk. But Lily could not shake the memory of that dinner. Eleanor's cold assessment. Julian's pointed questions. Patricia's false friendship. Then things got worse. A gossip website published photos of them together. The headline read, "Billionaire Hotel Mogul Dating, Former Waitress." The article was full of speculation and thinly veiled insults. It implied Lily was a gold digger. It questioned Marcus's judgment. It suggested the relationship was inappropriate. Comments flooded in from strangers. Lily read them despite knowing she should not. People called her names. They said she did not deserve Marcus. They claimed she was using him for money. Marcus was furious when he found out. He wanted to sue the website. He called his lawyers immediately. But Lily knew lawsuits would only make things worse.
Suing them will keep this in the news. It will make everything bigger. Maybe we should just ignore it.
I will not let them attack you like this. You deserve better.
But ignoring it proved impossible. More articles appeared. Paparazzi started following them. Lily's photo was everywhere. Staff at the Grand Monarch started treating her differently. Some were supportive. Others whispered when she walked by. The attention was overwhelming. Sophia called Lily into her office one afternoon. Her expression was serious. Lily's stomach dropped. Sophia said the board had concerns. They worried about the appearance of favoritism. They suggested Lily take a leave of absence. The words felt like a punch.
Are you firing me?
Sophia said no, but they needed to manage perceptions. Corporate wanted to avoid any scandal. Maybe a temporary break would help. Lily felt tears burning.
I earned this position. My relationship with Marcus is separate.
Sophia agreed, but said the board did not see it that way. Lily had two choices: take leave voluntarily, or face potential termination. Politics always won over fairness. Lily left the office in a daze. Everything she had worked for was crumbling. The career she loved was being taken away, all because she fell in love. She went home and turned off her phone. She did not want to talk to anyone, not even Marcus. She needed time to think. Marcus showed up at her door 2 hours later. He was worried when she did not answer his calls. Lily let him in, but could barely speak.
What happened? Tell me.
The board wants me to take leave. They say our relationship creates problems. I am going to lose everything.
Marcus's face went dark with anger. He said he would fire the entire board. Lily grabbed his arm.
You cannot do that. It will only prove them right. They will say you are giving me special treatment.
So what do we do? I will not let them force you out.
Maybe they are right, Marcus. Maybe this is not working. Maybe we should take a break.
Marcus looked like she had slapped him. He stepped back in shock. His voice was quiet when he spoke.
Is that what you really want?
I do not know what I want anymore. Everything is falling apart. Your family hates me. The media attacks me. Now, I'm losing my job.
We can handle all of that together. We just need to stay united.
I am tired, Marcus. I am tired of fighting. Maybe everyone is right about us.
Marcus tried to reach for her, but she stepped away. Her walls were going back up. Protecting herself was easier than fighting.
Do not do this. Do not let them win. We are stronger than this.
Are we, though? Look at what has happened. Nothing good has come from this.
Marcus's jaw tightened. Hurt flashed across his face. Then he nodded slowly.
If that is what you need, I will give you space. But I'm not giving up on us.
He left quietly. Lily collapsed on her couch and cried. She had just pushed away the best thing in her life. But staying felt impossible too. 3 days passed without contact. Lily took the leave of absence. She stayed in her apartment. She ignored calls from friends. On the 4th day, someone knocked on her door. It was Eleanor. Marcus's mother stood in the hallway. Lily was too shocked to refuse her entry. Eleanor sat on the worn couch. She looked out of place in the modest apartment. Her expression was unreadable. Eleanor said she needed to apologize. She admitted she had been terrible at dinner. She had judged Lily unfairly. Her words were stiff, but seemed genuine. Eleanor explained that she had been protective of Marcus. Wealthy families attracted fortune hunters. She had seen Marcus hurt before, but she realized Lily was different. Eleanor said she had investigated Lily's background. She learned about Lily's work ethic and integrity. Staff at the hotel spoke highly of her. Eleanor had been wrong.
Why are you telling me this now?
Eleanor said Marcus was miserable. He barely ate or slept. He worked constantly, but accomplished nothing. He was heartbroken. Eleanor admitted she had never seen Marcus this in love. Not with any of the society women he had dated. Lily clearly meant everything to him. Eleanor was asking her to reconsider.
I do not fit in your world. The dinner proved that.
Eleanor said the world could adapt. If Lily and Marcus loved each other, nothing else mattered. Eleanor would help smooth things over with the family. She would make sure Lily was welcome. Lily did not know what to say. Eleanor's visit was completely unexpected. The apology felt genuine, but fear still gripped her.
What about the board? What about the media? What about everyone else?
Eleanor said Marcus was already handling the board. He had made it clear Lily's position was based on merit. Anyone who disagreed could resign. As for the media, they would lose interest eventually. Eleanor stood to leave. She turned at the door. Her expression was softer than Lily had ever seen. Eleanor said Marcus deserved happiness. Lily made him happy in ways wealth never could. Eleanor hoped Lily would give them another chance. Then, she left as suddenly as she had arrived. Lily sat in silence for a long time. Eleanor's words echoed in her mind. She thought about Marcus. She thought about their connection. She realized she had been running away. Fear had made her build walls. But walls also kept out love. She had to choose between safety and happiness. Lily grabbed her phone and called Marcus. He answered on the first ring. His voice was rough.
Lily.
I am sorry. I was scared. I let everyone else's opinions matter more than us.
Where are you? I am coming over.
He arrived 15 minutes later. He must have broken every speed limit. Lily opened the door, and he pulled her into his arms.
I thought I lost you.
You almost did. I was so stupid.
You were scared. That is not stupid.
They held each other for a long time. No words were necessary. Their connection was still strong. It had survived the test. Marcus pulled back and looked at her seriously. He said things needed to change. They could not let outside pressure control them. They needed to be stronger together.
I talked to the board. I made it clear you earned your position. I showed them your performance reviews. I proved your merit. They backed down.
What about your family?
My mother came to see you. I did not ask her to. She did that on her own.
She apologized? She said she was wrong about me.
She was wrong. They all were. You are the best thing in my life.
Lily felt tears slip down her cheeks again. But these were happy tears. Marcus wiped them away gently.
Will you come back to work? The hotel needs you. I need you.
Yes. I will come back.
They spent the evening planning their future. They would face challenges together. They would not let others dictate their relationship. Their love was worth fighting for. The next week, Lily returned to the Grand Monarch. Staff welcomed her back warmly. The board had issued a statement supporting her. Media interest began to fade. Marcus's family hosted another dinner. This time, Eleanor made sure everyone was welcoming. Julian even apologized for his earlier comments. The evening was completely different. Patricia pulled Lily aside after dinner. She admitted she had been jealous. Marcus had never looked at her the way he looked at Lily. She was sorry for being cold. Over the following months, life settled into a rhythm. Lily excelled in her role. Marcus expanded his business. They supported each other through challenges. 6 months later, Marcus took Lily back to the Silver Pine Resort. They walked along the lake at sunset. The water reflected pink and gold light. Marcus stopped at a secluded spot. He pulled a small box from his pocket. Lily's breath caught in her throat.
I fell in love with you when you were a waitress. I loved you when I was pretending to be a janitor. I loved you through every challenge we faced. I want to love you for the rest of my life.
He opened the box to reveal a simple, elegant ring. It was beautiful, without being ostentatious. It was perfect.
Lily Martinez, will you marry me?
Yes. 1,000 times. Yes.
Marcus slipped the ring on her finger. They kissed as the sun set behind the mountains. Everything they had been through had led to this moment. The wedding was held 6 months later. It took place at the Grand Monarch. Staff helped plan every detail. The event mixed elegance with warmth. Eleanor had become one of Lily's strongest supporters. She helped with wedding preparations. She welcomed Lily into the family completely. Their relationship had transformed. On the wedding day, Lily stood in the bridal suite. Sophia helped her with the final touches. Charlotte had sent a letter apologizing. She said watching Lily's integrity had taught her important lessons. The ceremony was beautiful. Marcus cried when he saw Lily walking down the aisle. Their vows were simple, but profound. They promised to face everything together. At the reception, Lily looked around at the gathered crowd. Hotel staff mingled with wealthy guests. Her parents sat with Marcus's family. Everyone was celebrating together. Marcus pulled her onto the dance floor. They swayed together as their first song played. Lily thought about how far they had come.
Do you ever regret it? Pretending to be a janitor?
Never. It gave me you. That is worth everything.
What if I had rejected you too? Like I rejected Victor?
You would not have. You saw my heart, not my bank account.
Lily realized he was right. She had been drawn to Marcus's kindness, his genuine interest in her as a person. Wealth had never factored into her feelings. The reception continued late into the night. Marcus and Lily slipped away around midnight. They went up to the honeymoon suite. Exhausted but perfectly happy. They stood on the balcony looking over the city. The same view from their first kiss. Everything had come full circle.
What do you want to do with your life now? You can do anything.
I want to help others. People like me, who work service jobs. I want to create opportunities.
Marcus smiled and said he had an idea. What if they started a foundation? They could provide scholarships for hospitality workers, help them advance their careers. Lily loved the concept immediately. They spent the next hour planning. Their honeymoon could wait. This was too important. Over the next year, they launched the Marcus and Lily Robinson Foundation. It provided education and training for service workers. Hundreds of people received help. Lives were changed. Lily continued working at the Grand Monarch, but she also traveled to other Robinson hotels. She implemented the same positive changes everywhere. Staff satisfaction reached record levels across the company. Marcus gradually stepped back from daily operations. He focused on strategic growth and the foundation. He and Lily made an excellent team. Their strengths complemented each other perfectly. 2 years after their wedding, Lily discovered she was pregnant too. They were thrilled and terrified. Parenthood was a new adventure, but they would face it together. Eleanor was overjoyed about becoming a grandmother. She had fully embraced Lily as family. Their bond had grown strong. The rocky start was long forgotten. Lily sometimes thought about Victor and Richard. Victor had tried to buy respect through money. Richard had abused his power. Both had lost everything important. She thought about Charlotte, who had stolen out of desperation. Charlotte had sent several more letters from prison. She was working on rebuilding her life. Lily had forgiven her. The foundation helped people like Charlotte. People who made mistakes, but deserved second chances. Lily understood that desperation drove people to bad choices. Compassion was always better than judgment. One evening, Lily and Marcus returned to the bench across from the hotel. The same bench where he had brought her coffee. Where he had encouraged her to stand up for herself.
Do you remember sitting here? You were still pretending to be a janitor.
I was not pretending. I was being myself, just in different clothes.
You taught me something important that day. You said standing up for myself was never wrong.
I was right. You proved it.
Lily leaned against his shoulder. Their daughter would be born in 4 months. They would teach her the same lessons. Character mattered more than wealth. Kindness was strength. Integrity was everything. The Grand Monarch's lights glowed warmly behind them. Inside, staff were serving dinner to guests. Some servers were probably dealing with difficult customers. Some were staying professional despite harassment. Lily hoped her story gave them courage. She had been where they were. She had faced the same challenges. If she could build this life, anyone could. Marcus kissed the top of her head. He said he was grateful every day. Grateful he had chosen to work as a janitor. Grateful Lily had seen past appearances.
You know what I love most about our story?
What?
You chose me when you thought I had nothing. That it is real love.
I chose you because you were kind. Because you treated me with respect. Because you saw me as a person.
They sat together as the city darkened around them. Their journey had been difficult, but every challenge had made them stronger. Their love had been tested and proven genuine. Inside the hotel, a young waitress was probably refusing a wealthy customer right now. Standing up for her boundaries, protecting her dignity. Lily hoped she stayed strong. The world needed more people who valued character over status. Who chose integrity over easy money. Who understood that true worth came from within. Lily and Marcus had built something beautiful together. Not because of his wealth, but because of their shared values. their mutual respect, their genuine love. They walked back to their car hand in hand. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but they would face them together, just as they always had, just as they always would. The poor waitress had rejected rich men for a humble janitor. She had chosen character over wealth, and in doing so she had found everything. Love, that was real. Respect, that was earned. Happiness, that was genuine. Sometimes the best choice is the one that looks foolish to everyone else. Sometimes the janitor is worth more than all the wealthy suitors combined. Sometimes the heart knows what the world cannot see. Lily had learned that lesson well. She had lived it. And now she would teach it to others. Her daughter would grow up knowing that a person's worth is not measured in dollars, but in the content of their character. How did you enjoy today's story? Please leave a rating from 1 to 10. Let us know where you are watching from. And if you have a similar experience or personal story, feel free to share it in the comments. Your engagement greatly helps the growth and longevity of this channel. If you subscribe, you will receive new stories every day. We hope today's episode brought richness to your day. Thank you for watching.